Yeah, it is early in the morning and it's actually cold here in Southern California. There was frost on my windshield this morning. Okay, not much. And it's probably still going to get up to the mid 60s. And yeah, we'll probably have weather in the 70s later on this weekend. Yeah, I've got a charter I get to go on Friday night if the boat doesn't cancel, hoping it doesn't. Yeah, should get some rockfish and maybe another whack at some of the big bluefin that are off of Colonette now. Kind of interesting season. It's January and I'm late on videos and we've got some stuff to talk about. Today I wanted to demystify the Daiwa Lexa series of bait casting reels. That's the program, long overdue. So let's get to it. Okay, Daiwa's series of bait casting reels came onto the market, my gosh, gotta be 4 or 5 years ago now. I bought one of the 300 sizes. This is a 300 size here, the little guy. It was considered big at the time. There's a 100 size that was in the line back then too, but wasn't built to the same standards that the rest of the Lexas were, as far as the 300 and 400 size that came later. The 100s were okay freshwater, not as good saltwater, and there are a couple of reasons why. But Daiwa made a change at ICAST 2017, introducing this series of Lexa reels, which replaced the older gray-bodied models. They were a nice upgrade, and you notice also they made use of the Win grips. Win is a company well known in other fields, golf probably, maybe even baseball bats. And we showed a little video a few months ago of the Win grip material, which is used on fishing rods, but they also went after the fishing reel side of things and introduced their grips to various manufacturers, and we have those from several manufacturers for 2018. Certainly Daiwa with the Lexas are key. Okay, starting with the standard models, 300, 400, it is kind of alphabet soup in a way because the Daiwa Lexus reels are available in so many different configurations in terms of whether you want the double handles or the single power handle. Even the singles are pretty good size on those knobs. The Win grip does provide really good feel whether your hands are cold or warm, slippery, and wet or dry. Comfortable. It's a nice knob. Doesn't slip around. It's a nice piece. Nice reels. A lot of metal on them. Great free spool performance. And you'll notice level wind. If we can get her down here. It's not engaged during casting on the standard series Lexa pieces. That would be also the case with the 400 size. The leveler stays fixed. It's not moving up on a cast, which is a good thing for somebody who's doing a lot of casting, and people do with these reels. Spooling is all over the place on these guys. A lot of guys, you look at a little reel like this thinking, okay, it's probably 15, 20 pound, maybe you're going up to 30 pound here. Now, realistically, guys are putting on 50, 60, even 80 pound braid on the 400 size. And anywhere from 30, 40 pound, very common on the little 400s. Nicer to go with a multi-strand like an 8-strand over a 4-strand on any of them, but a 4-strand will get you by. 8-strand will just be smoother and nicer on the reels. Very good drag performance off these reels. Across the board on 300s and 400s, over 20 pounds worth of drag. Specifically, you're like 22 and even 25 pounds when we get into the 400 size. So 22 to 25 pounds worth of drag. Lightweight, the smallest size, little 300s here coming in about 10 and a half ounces or so. And then when you get into the bigger pieces, you're more like 15 ounces when we get to the larger sizes. Bearings. These are 7 bearing reels too. And on the standard Lexa, 2 of those bearings are the CRBBs, and then you've got 4 ball bearing, stainless ball bearing bearings, and then 1 roller bearing. So 6 plus 1 on the bearing count. 2 of those are CRBBs, which are what we prefer in terms of anti-corrosion. You'll see also on the side of the standard series there is a cast control. You can still make use of the centering tension here on the side, which some guys will use and use that to adjust for various lure weights. That's typical in the bass community. But you do have a cast control on the side of the reel, so you'll have even more help on the casts. Great little reels. Now, they're available in single or paddle style on the handles, various models. Gear ratios go from about 5-to-1 on one power model on the 400 size, and then basically it's all going to be 6.3 or so up to 7-to-1 on the gear ratios. When we go to the HDs, that's a big step, and we'll talk about that one specifically. But Daiwa introduced, along with the HDs, and it's shown at ICAST, some alternate models within the Lexa series, and these are kind of based on the frame that was used on the HD version of the Lexa reels, which that came out about a year before this series was introduced on the replacements for the old gray models. So on the HDs, there are a couple of big differences that stand out, and since we're already talking there, big thing is the bearings on the HD. Basically, you've got more CRBBs involved, and that's why the cost bumps up. The CRBBs cost more money as far as a bearing, and you have more of them. Basically, all of them are CRBBs. So 6 CRBB bearings plus 1 roller bearing. Gear ratios on this series, again, will range from 5-to-1 up to 7-to-1. And again, you've got a couple of different handle configurations on the HD version of the reel. And as mentioned, it's a casting piece. So we have great free spool, and the leveler does not engage on your cast. When you turn the handle, the leveler is working. When you're casting, it's fixed. That's preference. Now, I mentioned 2 other unique pieces within this series that were introduced. One, the clicker model. There is a clicker. My gosh. On a little reel like this, nice to have a clicker. And it's reasonably loud. So if you're fishing bait, that can be a good thing. Let's get that little puppy off. And the other thing that's different, you'll notice, leveler's engaged. Okay. Why would that be? Well, more often fishing bait on this piece, so it makes sense. You've got a clicker, you've got bait, and you're going to have the leveler engaged as the line moves. So it's always staying where it should. It's not as much of a casting piece. And at ICAST, Daiwa introduced a line counter version. Some of the guys fishing at depth, or even on the troll, trying to hit the same distance back from the boat, or in depth, can easily do that with a piece, a Lexa, with a line counter. And that's available in 300 and 400 sizes. And again, we have a clicker, very appropriate. Retail pricing really doesn't change from these guys. The HDs, yeah, now we're pushing $3. The other models are around, $230, that sort of stuff. Not terribly expensive for what they are. And again, drag is consistent among both series, all 3 series of reels. You're getting up to, from 22 up to 25 pounds worth of drag on reels that are fishing a fraction. They've got so much headroom in terms of drag beyond the typical line test being used. Now, sure, if somebody wants to put 80-pound braid onto your 400 size Lexus, having 25 pounds worth of drag is very appropriate to go to. But realistically, we're not fishing a reel of this weight at that level for a long period of time. But it is there if you need it. And I think more realistically, the guys that are trying to horse a calico bass out of cover and kelp, sawing through the salad, those are the guys that are making use of the heavy braid on these things. If they're fishing on a Cedros adventure trip down in Mexico, anywhere where you've got a lot of cover and some bigger fish possible, yellowtail, even white sea bass. These reels could actually handle that. And if we ever get an albacore bite again, my God, it'll be nice to own these pieces when we're tossing little anchovies for bait. So that's my rundown on the Lexa series. Not a whole lot to say other than wonderful reels to own. Drag is there, free spool performance is there on the casting models. If you're looking for other features, you have that, whether it be a line counter with clicker or just simply a clicker. And again, in 300 and 400 sizes. And the HDs basically just take it to another level in terms of long-term performance, given that everything is a CRBB in these guys versus 2 CRBBs on the other models within the Lexa series. Thank you for watching. We'll try and get some more new pieces posted here shortly. And apologies again for being off the program for a few months while I was tending to other things. But now it's January, we can kind of get caught up a little bit with some new gearing. My gosh, we've had some nice new gear. These Lexa period pieces have just been dandy. And I can see a 400 maybe in my future. Gosh, I hope we get some albacore in here. That'd be a great little reel, and I could forget about my old Mule 229s and 220s for the Albies, toss and showies. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.